I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it, we cannot transform it, and we cannot know the absolute truth at this human awareness. So we have to become something subtler. As Christ has said, you are to be born again. It doesn't mean we can brand ourselves as born again, but it's a happening of becoming something else than what you are. And that something else is the Spirit. So, whatever we are going to tell you today about this mechanism within you and the way you reveal the truth, you should not accept it with blind faith. But as scientists, keep your mind open. Take it as a hypothesis. If you think it is all right, when you have experimented with it and you have experimented, and whatever I say comes true, then as honest people, you have to accept it. Because this is for your benevolence, for the benevolence of your country and the whole universe at large. It is to be understood that we are created as human beings from amoeba to this stage is not the ultimate. If it was, there would have been all these problems not created by us. Start from ecology to political to economic to all these problems are creation of human beings. So we have missed some point somewhere. That's what we have to find out. What is that we have to be? If you look at the development of the civilization, of this modern civilization, you can easily find out that we have really outgrown ourselves without any sense of proportion and limitation. As a result, even in science, we have discovered horrible things like atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, all these horrible things which are just destructive. So somehow or other, whatever we try, whatever is the mental projection of human beings, it boomerangs back. Whatever we go up to a point comes back to you and is destructive. So what is the reason why we cannot reach that point where we are at the best and then stop there? This cannot be worked out because at a human level, we always go to extremes. To understand yourself, first of all, you have to become the Spirit. We do not understand ourselves. We think we know ourselves is not true because we are made up of these 7 centers which are subtle within you, and unless until you know about these centers, you cannot know yourself and you cannot know others as well. Now then, many people who are fed up and are seekers, I mean, this is a special category of people, as William Blake has said, that there will be men of God who will become godly and make others also godly. These are the seekers. Seekers which are trying to find out why, when we have done everything that is prescribed, we have acted according to what is written down, still why is it we haven't got the satisfaction and the joy of life which is being promised? There's nothing wrong with Bible, there's nothing wrong with Quran, nothing wrong with all these great books, no doubt. But why it is not going into our heart? It's all mental. When we read about Quran, I'm surprised. I was reading a book about Quran. They're written by some intellectuals like this, Christian Science or even other books in Indian philosophies, is all a mental process. Adi Shankaracharya has called this as Shabda Jalam, meaning the net of words. You get lost in the net of words. But there's no experience of it. And that's why whatever we may follow, we like to follow. Everything that's given to us, all right, follow this, follow that, follow that, follow that, and then what? Anybody who follows any religion whatsoever, which are absolutely all right, can commit any mistake. So they don't follow, actually. That shows that it's not gone inside them. It's not ingrained, it's not innate with their being. So what is the reason why we cannot have it? Those who were saints in any country, take it Lao Tse, you can take from Socrates onward this side, Muhammad Sahib, Nanak Sahib, all of these people. You'll be amazed to find that all these people behaved in such a manner that we cannot find faults with them. I mean, if you want to find, you may with your ignorance. But the kind of life they led, how is it that they were like that? What was so great? It was their divinity which expressed. While we all have this divinity within ourselves, we have all these powers within ourselves. Only thing, we have to use those powers. We have to manifest them. And for that manifestation, it is important that we have to become self-realized in the sense that you have to get your second birth. In Sanskrit language, for a realized soul, they use a word called dvijaha, means twice born. And also for a bird, they call it the word dvijaha, meaning twice born. First is an egg, and then it becomes a bird. So, our freedom is also limited. We do not have full freedom because we lack in our confidence in our wisdom. Because the wisdom has also not manifested and has not shown us how it asserts in the right way. So most of the time, we are living in the relative world, not in the absolute world. What one has to understand, that there is something missing, and that missing point we have to find out. Now let's see what is the truth. The truth is, the first and foremost truth is, that there is an all-pervading power of God's love, which is called as Brahma Chaitanya in Sanskrit, Ru in the Quran, and in every scripture is described. Now this all-pervading power resides, which does all the living work. We see beautiful flowers all over. I saw the beautiful trees you have, the botanical garden, you have such nice things there. We never even think how this miracle has taken place, how this Mother Earth has done this job, how she got this power to sprout a seed. We just accept it. We don't think it's a miracle, we just accept it. And without thinking about it, it becomes just a part and parcel of our life. Look at your eyes. Your eyes are also absolutely a miracle. They are such a camera. Look at your brain. It's such a computer. But we just accept it, accept our human life, also just as if it's nothing great. Even the miracle to become from amoeba to human beings. By any law of chance, you would not have become human being. But we just accept it. And we don't want to think that there could be any power that could have achieved it. This is what one has to little bit project and see for yourself, that there must be some power, and if I say there is a power, you have to feel it. You have to know it. The second truth is that you are not this body. You are not this mind. You are not these conditionings, ego, and your emotions. No, you are the pure spirit. This is the fact. That is the divinity within you. Unless and until you become that, no use reading books. By reading books, you become fundamentalist. Absolutely, fundamentalism has the basis in the books because the book said so. So I said so. Everybody tries to read the books and just want to use it as a norm for oneself. It's not true. whatever is written in the book, whatever you have read in the book, has not gone inside your heart. And so there's a problem that today we are having the first problem, not so much of political, because thanks to Gorbachev, who is another realized soul, that one problem is over. The second problem is of fundamentalism. We look at the Islam as if they are Muslims. Muslims and Islam are very different, as Christ and Christians are. One has to understand that the life of Christ was of sacrifice and great penance for us. He did such a great penance for us. But what about the Christians? They went all over the world to conquer everything and to kill so many people. How can they be the people who are following Christ? Without any compassion, without any mercy. Same about Hindu, when it is said that in everybody's heart resides the Spirit. If so, then how can you have caste system? How can you justify caste system? But caste system is very strong among them. And they will also become fundamentalist if they just follow whatever written in the Quran, in the Puranas or in their scriptures. So this is what we are now. After this political and also economical things that we had on our heads, now it's coming to fundamentalism. And it's taking charge. I was amazed to read in the newspaper that now many Christians are leaving the church and joining Islam and Buddhism. It's nonsense. It's just the same. What is the difference? Going from, as they say that, from one end to another end, reaching nowhere. And that's what one has to understand, that the religion is within us. It is like a valency. As carbon has 4 valencies, we have 10 valencies, which are, we know, as the 10 commandments. Unless and until they are awakened within us, unless and until we become innately enlightened by them, we cannot behave in the manner that the scriptures wanted us to behave. But not only that, I've been talking all the while. Not only that, but this religion that is within us, when it is enlightened, you become absolutely aware of what the mistake people have been committing, what the mistake you have been committing, and that this God's love, how it works. Also, you become a witness of the whole play. When the Kundalini goes through this center of Agya, you just become a witness. You start seeing the whole thing as a drama. If you are standing in the water and there are waves in the sea, they come up and go, and you are frightened of getting drowned. But supposing you are in a boat, then you enjoy the waves. And supposing you know how to swim, you can jump back and get so many people on the boat. This is what happens to you, that when you get your realization, you reach a state of self-awareness, meaning not selfishness, but the awareness of these centers, awareness of yourself and awareness of others also. You can feel the centers of others on your fingertips, so you become collectively conscious. Then who is the other? You can feel anyone on your center so easily. It's a fact that through this Kundalini awakening, many people have been cured automatically by your own power, which is there, residual, waiting for you. Because when she passes through these centers, she penetrates through them and she puts them right. For example, supposing this is the left and the right side, and we are using too much of right side, then it is pulled on this side and the centers become very constricted. But supposing the Kundalini passes through them, she puts them right like this and nourishes them. Now cancer is caused when this union is broken like this by some sort of a jerk. Now supposing the Kundalini can go through this and this like this, because she understands everything, then cancer can be cured. And we have done that. There are 3 doctors in Delhi University who have got their MD after doing MBBS through Sahaja Yoga. One of them is blood cancer subject, another thing is epilepsy, and the third one is asthma. These 3 doctors have got their MD in Delhi University. And we know of many cases which have been cured. So now, not only the health, also the mental capacity. People are really these days under stress, with schizophrenia, all kinds of mental problems. Most of them can be cured if you really get your realization and fix your connection with this all-pervading power. If it is fixed, then you don't have to go to doctors, you don't have to take 2 medicines, and you yourself can diagnose people and you can cure people. But first, you have to get to yourself and establish your connections with this all-pervading power so that you become collectively conscious and you can definitely help anyone who needs help from you. The third thing that happens to you is very interesting, that you become the joy. You become the source of joy. Joy is not happiness and unhappiness. Joy is an absolute thing. And you jump into the ocean of joy. And when you jump into the ocean of joy, you just start enjoying everything, and the state that you achieve is thoughtless awareness. You are aware but without any thoughts. The thoughts no more bombard you. If you want to think, you can think. If you don't want to think, you can stop it. So the thoughtless awareness comes to you as a blessing first, and then the second awareness is called as the doubtless awareness. This is all described in the Hatha Yoga, that you get into Nirvichar Samadhi and then Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This all science is not only from India. It comes from everywhere. As I told you, Confucius knew this, Socrates knew this, and also many people like William Blake and C.S. Lewis, all these people knew about it. But nobody could put it through to people because I think people didn't want to accept it. Like Kabira has said, how am I to explain when everybody is blind? He was quite frustrated about it. But today we have so many people who are really seeking honestly the truth, and they would like to find it out. And it's a remarkable thing that so much is happening even in Christchurch. I'm very happy to come to Christchurch to see that you still have lots of English traditions. I've known England for so many years, and it's so much changed now in these 25 years. It's all gone into another kind of a wasteland, I think, the way people are lost into the maze of this modernism, hippism, all kinds of funny things going on there. And I don't know what will happen to it if it doesn't stop for about 20 years. What will be the situation of England? In the beginning, I had to work on about 7 Sajogis, who were hippies actually. And I took 4 years to give them realization. So I said the English have hard nuts, but once the nuts are broken, they have very good Sajogis. But immediately after that, they went to libraries and to all the places, and they found out everything about Kundalini. They are very scholarly. They were all professors and teachers, very well educated scientists. They all had become hippies, you see. Some sort of a fashion of hippism started. They all had become hippies. Can you imagine? A professor of physics in Cambridge University was one of them. And he was an Australian, but I don't know. He's lost after that because they said he's no more. He was quite an old gentleman. He came here and I think there is no more. Whatever it is, but it was such a hard time for me. But I found out that they were very, very good Sajogis, and they are the foundation of Sahaja Yoga in the Western countries. It can work out very well, but we have to understand that we are seekers of truth, and honestly, if we are seeking the truth, we should keep our minds open. Of course, you can't pay for it because it is a living process. You cannot pay for living processes anyway. See the Mother Earth, how much you pay her for giving us these flowers. How much do we pay to our heart for pulsating? How much do we pay to our intestines for digesting our food? It's all done free. In the same way, has to be absolutely free. Another reason why religions have failed, because they are either money-oriented or power-oriented. They are not spirit-oriented. So, because of that, you should not blame them. But it was a wrong, deviated line they took, and that's why it has failed. Now, as it is, I'm here only for one day. I'm happy Brian has agreed to be here, and he's going to work out something, I'm sure. I would, of course, like you to ask me some questions, if you have, before we start our self-realization. But of course, we cannot force it on anyone. It cannot be forced. It has to be asked for. It cannot be done by force. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, and I'm quite good at it, I must tell you. For the last 22 years, I've been just doing this job of answering questions. But this is just a mental feat. And this mental feat is not going to guarantee your awakening. But if you have any questions, you better ask. Otherwise, at the time of Kundalini awakening, your mind will come and tell you, oh, you didn't ask this question. I don't know, throat is gone off today. You're speaking every day for hours.
What happened with realization before actually understanding anything else?
What happens, Shri Mataji, if you have realization without understanding all about chakras and the subtle energy system?
That's the best. If you could do. I mean, see, now we have so many lights here. And if you have to put on the light, you just have to go and switch on, finished. But those who don't believe in it, you have to say there are lights, you see, this electricity was discovered at this time. You have to talk of all these things. There's no need at all. You can just put on because it's all built in. It's all built in within you. There's no need at all to know about chakras or anything. But later on, when you have to talk to others, because you can't enjoy it yourself, you have to give it to others. Look at me. I don't need Sahaja Yoga, but I'm traveling at this old age all over the world. So you can't, you see, help it. It's like a capitalist like me who has the powers and can't live without giving, like a real communist. I'm going around the whole world, you see. So you won't be able to rest. So then you have to know about these things. But for getting realization, you need not know at all.
You mentioned a lot about spirit. I didn't see anything about soul.
You mentioned quite a lot about the spirit, Shri Mataji, but nothing about the soul.
Spirit and soul. See, in this small lecture, how many things can I tell you? But spirit is the one which is enveloped by the subtle casuals of elements which have made this body. That becomes the soul.
God wants us to live abundantly.
God wants us to?
Live abundantly. Okay. What's your view on money? I mean, if I live abundantly,
God says we must live abundantly. What is your attitude, Shri Mataji, about money, which is necessary to abundance?
Of course, you will have a lot of it. So many people have got it, and some of them did get lost because it's a temptation also. But I have seen people say who were taking drugs, they got completely cured, their attention is all right, they have started working, they are getting good jobs. So you see, once you are a normal person and all your capacities are expressing, like there are some artists who came to Sahaja, and now they are world famous artists in India. Lots of them are world famous, and some of them were Muslims, and they are world famous today, minting money.
Yes.
The body,
No, go.
you mentioned the spirit, but what about the body? Is it connection with the spirit or is it separate?
Is there a connection between the body and the spirit? Are they connected or are they separate?
No, connection in the same way as a mirror has the reflection. Body is the reflector of the spirit. Without the body, you cannot have spirit. And if you have the spirit, which is enveloped, as I said, in a soul, that also contains a kind of a body in a subtler way. So the spirit can only be expressed in a body.
Do you put more emphasis on the spirit side of things than the soul side of things?
Of course. Soul is not so important because, you see, those people who have everybody can have a soul. Say, a criminal can have a soul, a person who is frustrated in life. When they die, the soul comes out, you see. So depends on the person, what sort of a person he is, what sort of a soul he has. But supposing if you get your spirit, means your spirit shines in your attention, means all your elements are enlightened and you are enlightened soul. So there are two types of souls we can say minimum. One is enlightened, one is unenlightened. But among the unenlightened, there could be criminals, there could be horrible people. Could be very, very horrible people. Some of them hang in the limbo, I think, and some of them hang around us also sometimes to possess us.
Yes, there's somebody here.
What are your views on reincarnation?
What are your views, Shri Mataji, on reincarnation?
Oh, reincarnation is only possible for the great souls or absolutely devils. It's not done for young people. You see, sometimes I hear that people had said about their previous lives and all that, but it is a possession. It's a possession of some spirit which is hanging around, takes over and talks. But that's not any reincarnation, means the same soul coming in, developing into another. That's only possible if you are a realized soul, or if you are a saint, you are a prophet, or if you are an incarnation, or if you are a devil, one of the two things.
Where do animals come into all this, ma'am?
Animals are under the bondage of God, you see. So they haven't got the freedom as we have. A tiger will be a tiger, lion will be a tiger, and snake will be a snake. But human beings, you cannot say. They can be a tiger, at the same time they can be a snake. See, they have the freedom to be anything.
What happens today? You mentioned that reincarnation for the great soul. What happens to the rest of us?
Reincarnation, you said, Shri Mataji, was for the great souls.
Yeah.
What happens to the rest of us?
Why are you worried so much about this, the future? You have to be in the present. Future doesn't exist, you see. And we should not waste our time about the future so much. What we should think about the present, because that is the reality. In the present you exist. And in the present only you can grow in your spirituality. When you are meditating, you get into this state of thoughtless awareness, because one thought is from the future, maybe another from the past. It comes and falls. Again, another thought comes and falls. We are jumping on the cusp of these, either future or past. But there is a space in between two thoughts. That is the thought, that is the time where you are in the present. And with realization, that space starts increasing. And where you are thoughtlessly aware means you are in the present. Then your memory becomes so clear-cut, like a photogenic memory. You are in the present, you see someone, you see some place, anything. It just goes into your mind like a photo. Whenever you want, you can think of it. I mean, you really become so dynamic with that because you live in the present. In every way, you become extremely alert, and immediately you understand the depth of every problem. It's a very different human being you become, that people start understanding how this man has become so intelligent. Actually, it's not the intelligence, but that state where your intelligence becomes so expressive, so manifesting, and so absorbing.
I know a few people into the chakras, they experience feelings, but they don't understand them. Do you need to understand the feelings, what comes up?
Some people have an understanding and a feeling on the chakras. Does one have to have that feeling to understand them, to develop?
Yeah, but it's got to be, you've got to understand where it came from, or it's, it just keeps on coming up, isn't it?
Have you got to understand the feelings that come from the chakras?
Not at all. You don't feel anything. You just feel it on the fingertips if you are a realized soul. But maybe if you are going to some wrong type of people, they enter into you through your sympathetic, and then maybe, like they will make you stand on your head, do this, do that, jump and do all kinds of things, say mantras, this, that, and then they are on the sympathetic. That is on these two things, left and right. Like TM, for example, take for TM. TM now is one of the most dangerous thing, I think, because we had one gentleman long time back from a place called Ronach near Scotland. He was the director of the Flying Academy, director. His wife was the granddaughter of a duke. He himself was a diamond merchant, and he had a friend who was his deputy director, also a very rich man, and the daughter. All of them got epilepsy. They came to us, and we had to cure. When we cured them, they told us the whole story. It's a horrible story about it. You see, they're all epileptic, absolutely suffering, and they went to a doctor. Then he came and asked me, how did you cure these people? So, what they do is to give you some sort of a mantra. Now, the first thing is 3,000 pounds they had to pay to get a mantra. The mantras were, to begin with, were very funny ones. This gentleman is so-called Maharishi, doesn't know a word of Sanskrit. He gave them 3 mantras. One was Inga, Pinga, and Tinga. These 3 mantras he gave them. Now, Inga means, not in Sanskrit, but in local languages, means the scorpion bite. The Pinga means when you get possessed, you go round and round. And Tinga means when you show somebody like this. Now, what do you say? And they were going on and on and on. And concentrate and keep the husband separate and the wife separate and all that. And they developed all kinds of funny things, very unnatural. And when you go on concentrating on anything, you see this center gets spoiled. They all got possessed. All got possessed. After that, they had a program for 7 days for meditation in some remote hotel in Switzerland, where they asked them to sit on some foams and jump. They all broke their bottoms, And they also filed suits against them, and they got money in America. It's a case like that. But this gentleman, you see, very nicely told them that you have to be very light. For that, you have to take a course of some sort of a diet in which they had to have for 6 days the water that has boiled some potatoes, and the 7th day some rind, and 8th day they have to take the potatoes. Can you imagine? And they paid 6,000 pounds for that kind of a nonsense. But why do people are stupid also? Why do they want to fly about 3 feet higher? What is the need? What is the saving in that? I mean, imagine already we are having traffic problems. And this... I mean, it's also complete stupidity on the part of the people who are seekers, who are seeking to fly about 3 feet high. What are you seeking? One should know. What are we asking for? That's how things have been going on. I mean, I'm just giving you one example. There are 1,001. Thank God most of them are exposed. And this TM is also exposed very much in Europe, but it has not come up here, I think. And I'll have to send all the pamphlets how he smuggled from from Philippines, lots of drugs for people. Started with the drugs. It's a fact. And this is what it is. What are we seeking? Whatever they promise, why should we go there? We should find out what are the disciples doing. Where are they? Most of them are recluses. Just go and see. They can't even see a garlic. If you show them a garlic or a lemon, they'll run away. Most of them are like that. Because what he does, he puts some sort of a spirit on them. That's what is called as Preta Vidya, we call it, which is the science of the dead. And then they use those dead spirits on them. And on one personality, there are 2 or 3 spirits sitting. So such a person, for the time being, becomes overactive and then is lost completely. It's a very interesting thing that people don't know what they are seeking. There was Rajneesh who was buying Rolls Royces. Why should any divine person care for a Rolls Royce? I just don't understand. Why should they? Rolls Royce, buying so many Rolls Royces, then another 14-year-old fellow buying Rolls Royces. For such a person, they should be equal to the dust of his feet. Somehow or other, I was born in a very rich family, and also my husband is very well-to-do and all that. Well, I never care for anything like that. I can sleep here, I can sleep on the street, I can sleep anywhere. I have no problem. On the contrary, if there's too much comfort, I don't like it. I prefer my comfort of my spirit. That is happening to the Sahajogis also. Apart from that, a great society has been created. A great society, just like angels. We have people from all over the world, especially 62 countries Sahaja is working. Out of that, at least 52 we have good centers, especially in Australia we have many. And if you see them, they are so beautiful, so angelic. I've never seen them quarreling, fighting, except for some places where some spirits have entered or some sort of a sabotage has been done. Most of them are beautiful people. So why not have that beautiful life and that promised society, which is so kind and nice? We do not have these problems of marriages. We don't have problems of children. We don't have all these problems at all that you are facing. Beautiful families, beautiful relationships, all over the world, imagine. The best are Russians. You'll be surprised, apart from Indians, of course, because Indians have this background. But best are Russians. In one village, Taliati, I have there stored 22,000 Sahajoga practicing. And the embassy in this Russian embassy in India wants to honor me, and Gorbachev wants to meet me. Can you imagine how sensitive they are? Because they didn't have these conditionings. They are not materialistic people. They are very good seekers. There are about 30-40% who are not, who are just doing menial works. But most of them are scientists, this, that. And I was surprised, the scientists, 200 scientists, one of them who was the Sputnik man, invited me for their science science conference. And when I started talking about science, they said, Mother, don't talk about science. Let us know about spirit. Don't want to hear. We have had enough of science. Such sensitivity they have. Just with my photograph. I don't know how they can recognize. They are very introspective. Even if you read Tolstoy or even of those writers, they are very introspective. Even their heroes are introspective. They do not take things for granted. They don't think end of themselves, nothing. They are never in a fool's paradise, I've seen. They try to see what's wrong with me, why am I doing this? It's very interesting. Have you read Crime and Punishment? Isn't it so, with the hero? It's very interesting. They have had the best writers, scholars, musicians, dancers, all kinds of things they had. But still, they're very humble, very, very humble. Even their media is so humble. They said, Mother, we are nowhere in spirituality. How do you say we are sensitive to spirituality? Such humble people. Extremely humble. No arrogance. No arrogance at all. Yes, there is some question.
So I can't hear.
लंबा लेक्चर ही दे रहा है.
The essence of this question, I think, is Shri, at the separation of at the time of death, at the separation of the spirit and the body, what happens? What happens to the spirit?
Again, you all seem to be quite infatuated by death, I think. You see, when you are a realized soul, then what happens? You see that it is just another dress that you have to change. You never worry about death. Never. And those who have written about death, Kabir especially has written beautifully. He says that when my beloved left me, means my life, I didn't cry. I didn't say anything. I didn't fuss. I was just asked my friend. I was nicely covered myself with a little sheet and I was lying down. And just seeing my beloved left me. He says, but all the doors were closed. But I don't know, some window was open, must be the Sahasrara, was open because he was a realized soul. So the life went through that. So, you see, the thing is, this problem is always haunt you when you are not a realized soul. You're so much worried about death. But after that you will know that death is just a change of life. It's just a change of life. Then whenever you want to take your birth, you can take if you are realized so. But if you are not, I've told you, you may possess someone or you may hang in the limbo, I don't know. Whenever some people take birth just after 13, 14 days, again into another nonsensical place. Whatever you will earn now will show at the time of your death. But if you have not earned any good deeds, what is it called, punyas, then it will show at the time of your death, whether you go to hell or to heaven. It is your choice. It's your freedom. What you want. You want to go to hell or to heaven is your own choice and your own discretion. That's very important.
What are your thoughts on teachings of Maharishi?
I want to know what your thoughts are on the teachings of Maharishi.
I've already told you this Maharishi TM fellow, about him only I've told you. Horrible. What is he teaching? Nothing. What is he teaching? He's incapable. He's not a learned man, no way. Nothing at all. And he has no sense. He has no sense of culture or anything. He was actually used to giggle at people because he thought he's nicely befooling everyone. So he was called as a giggly guru. He used to giggle at people because they were all befooled. So he used to giggle at them. What is his bona fide? He was a ticket collector, did all kinds of wrong things.
What is the best quality you think we can develop for retain self-realization?
What is the best quality we can develop to gain our self-realization?
God's realization. That you will know gradually. You can develop all that. It's very nice. After some time, like a drop becomes the ocean, you become the ocean, that's all. That's a good idea about the future instead of death. All right, now I think we should have our self-realization, all of us. Next time I may stay here for 2 days. I hope so. And work it out more. Because somehow I feel this Christchurch has got very good vibrations. Things might work out better here. Now, before we start it, I have to tell you one thing. That I cannot force it on you. I respect your freedom. So those who do not want to have self-realization can leave the hall. They should not sit down and watch others. The second thing is important, that you all have to have full confidence in yourself that you will get your self-realization. Nobody should think that, how can I get it, this and that. Nothing of the kind. I assure you, you be in the present. You be just in the present and know that you all are capable of getting your self-realization. No doubt about it. Then this is one condition. The second condition is that you have to forgive everyone without thinking about them. Now, for some people it is very difficult to forgive. But logically, whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. What do? Nothing. It's just a mental idea that I don't forgive. But as a result of that, what happens? You play into wrong hands. Those who have troubled you, tortured you, now you are torturing yourself while they are very happy. So what's the use of remembering such people? Don't even have to remember them. You have to just say in your heart, with full faith in yourself, that I forgive everyone in general. The third condition is that none of you should feel guilty at all at this moment. Forget the past. At this moment, forget the past. Not to feel guilty. This is another thing that has happened to us by conditioning, that we should feel guilty for everything, we should confess. Nothing of the kind. There's no need. After all, you are human beings, and only human beings can do mistakes. How can you not do mistakes? After all, you are human beings. You are not gods, you are not realized souls. So it doesn't matter. So don't feel guilty at all. Please, if you are feeling guilty, it's also physically very wrong. Because this center here in the corner of your shoulder and your neck, here you get a catch of this left Vishuddhi, we call it, the left side of the center. As a result, you get angina, or you may get spondylitis, or you may get very lethargic organs on the left-hand side. So it's very important not to feel guilty. Because this is also a mental idea, I am feeling guilty. Who has told you you are guilty? No judge has told you. Why do you feel guilty? You have to enter into the kingdom of God. For that, you should be really pleasantly placed towards yourself. In short, you all have to be respectful, loving towards yourself, and will be the best for me. So these are three conditions which are very simple, and they are just your mental attitudes which must be, at this moment, must not be used. That's all. So now we'll show you how you have to do the nourishing of your centers. It is absolutely spontaneous and doesn't need much effort, but I just want to show you the different centers on the left-hand side, how you can nourish it. This is to be done only once. You don't have to repeat it again and again. Now, please take out your shoes if possible, because this Mother Earth helps us a lot to suck in our problems. Please take out your shoes. You have seen these Australians singing Indian songs, and one of them is a song sung about 16th century. Since 16th century they are singing, which says the last one, that, "O Kundalini, just rise and let us have the yoga. O Mother, give us the yoga," is the one they are talking about, the union with the divine. But they are just singing all these years. Nothing happens to them. Not did they think, what are we singing about? So from the 16th century is going on in the villages of India. Of course, this just has given them a understanding, that's all. But they are not seeking the yoga. They're just singing all over in the village. Also, they can sing Sanskrit songs. I mean, it's not an easy thing for Western people to sing Sanskrit. You see, the English were in India for 300 years. They couldn't speak one sentence of Hindi language. It's so difficult for them. They used to call it a tongue twister. If Hindi is tongue twister, I don't know what they will call to Sanskrit. So, but now look at these people, how they have become, they sing so well in proper melody, proper rhythm, everything. It's very surprising. In such a short time, they have picked it up. And also the Indians now sing very beautiful English songs and everything. It's very surprising how it has become so easy for them. All right. So please put your left hand towards me as he will show you, just like this. Now the left is suggestive that you want to have your realization, because the left side represents your desire. The left side represents your desire. And you have to use your right hand because this represents the power of action. The power of desire on the left, the power of action on the right side. So you have to use your right hand on the different centers on the left hand side, which I'll tell you later. Now you have to know that this is a normal desire which is never fulfilled. You go on jumping from one desire to another. And the pure desire is the power of Kundalini. The pure desire, whether you know or not, is to be one with this all-pervading power. So you should have desire within you that you want to have your self-realization. That is important because I respect your freedom. So put your left hand like this, and with the right hand we put it on our different centers. Now in Sahaja Yoga you have to be comfortable, you have to sit comfortably, neither too much slouching or bending behind, but you have to sit straight and put your hand on your heart. First you put on your heart. In the heart resides the spirit. In the heart resides the spirit. So, if you become the spirit, you become your own guide, you become your own master. So you have to put now your right hand, the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard. This is the center of your mastery. Mastery over the knowledge, the pure knowledge, the true knowledge of the divine laws. And also you become your own master. Now you take down your hand in the low portion of your abdomen on the left hand side, press it hard, and this is the center of your pure knowledge. This knowledge is the one which works through your central nervous system and gives you ability to work out the divine power which is flowing through you. Now you raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. Again on your heart. Now, in the angle which is created by your shoulder and by your neck, and now put your head to your right, full right. Please put it. All right. Now, you have to now take your right hand on top of your forehead and bend your head as far as possible by putting your thumb on one side and your fingers on the other. Press it hard and put down your head as far as possible. This is the center where you have to ask, you have to forgive everyone in general. Now you have to take your right hand on the back side of your head and push back your head. And here you have to ask forgiveness from this divine power without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, just for your satisfaction. Now the last center is very important. Stretch your hand, stretch your palm. Put the center of your palm on top of your head. Now push back your fingers so that there's a good pressure on your scalp. Now on the fontanelle bone area is the soft bone which you had in your childhood. There you have to put it, the center of your palm. Push back your fingers. Put down your head. Here now. You have to move your scalp, not your hand so much as your scalp with pressure. 7 times clockwise. 7 times clockwise. Slowly. That's all we have to do all together. That's all. Now please remember to push back your fingers is important. Now you have to close your eyes. Please put both your feet apart from each other because these are 2 powers. If there is anything tight on your neck or in your shoulder, you can loosen it. Now put your left hand towards me like this. Could be on your lap if it is comfortable. Now, please, put your right hand on your heart. And now close your eyes. You can remove your spectacles. And don't open your eyes, please, till I tell you. Please don't open till I tell you. Here now, you have to ask me a very fundamental question about yourself. You can call me Mother or you can call me Shri Mataji, whatever you feel like. Now please say 3 times. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times within your heart. Mother, am I the spirit? If you are the spirit, you are your master. So now take down your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen, put your fingers there and press it hard, not very hard, press it. And again ask another fundamental question in your heart 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Ask with full confidence. I've already told you that I respect your freedom. So I cannot force pure knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So now take down your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and press it hard. Here you have to say 6 times because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Please say this 6 times. Mother, give me, please, pure knowledge. Say it 6 times. As soon as you ask for pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So now we have to nourish all our upper centers with our self-confidence. So now please raise your right hand. Into the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard. Here you have to say with full confidence, with full self-confidence, you have to say 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. Please say with full confidence, Mother, I am my own master. I have already told you that you are not this body, this mind, these conditionings, this ego, emotions, but you are the pure spirit. So now please raise your right hand on your heart And with full confidence, again, you have to say, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Please say it with full confidence. Mother, I am the pure spirit. This all-pervading power is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of love, compassion and bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. And whatever mistakes you might commit can be easily dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please forgive yourself and put your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder, and put your right hand as far back as possible. And now turn your head to your right. Please don't feel guilty. This is a center very badly catching up. So please don't feel guilty. Now here, with full confidence you have to say, 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it with full confidence. 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it 16 times with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. I have told you that it is a myth that you cannot forgive anyone. Because you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. And it's very important to forgive at this moment, because the center is very constricted, and if you do not forgive, then it won't open and you lose your chance of self-realization. As it is, you have tortured yourself by not forgiving, and now you shouldn't lose your chance of self-realization. So at this point, please take your right hand on top of your forehead, putting fingers on one side and thumb on the other. And put down your head as far as possible. Here you have to say again with full confidence, not how many times, but from your heart. From your heart. Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Say it from your heart, not how many times. From your heart, you have to say absolutely, so that the center opens out. Now, take back your right hand on the back side of your head. Press it hard. Push back your head as far as possible. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, just for your satisfaction, you have to say from your heart, not how many times. O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Please say this from your heart, not how many times. Now, please stretch your hand, stretch your palm. Put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood, properly. Now please remember to stretch back your fingers. It's very important. If you don't stretch it back, then it won't have a proper pressure. Now put down your head. Here again, I cannot force self-realization on you. I respect your freedom. So you have to ask for it. So now moving your hand 7 times slowly, you have to say 7 times, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Please say it 7 times, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Now please take down your hands, open your eyes, and you can put on your glasses. Now please put both the hands towards me like this. Now watch me without thinking. Just watch me without thinking. Now put the right hand towards me and put down your head and see for yourself if there's a cool breeze or a warm breeze like waves coming out of your head. Now please put down your head and see for yourself. But don't put your hand on top of your head, but please keep it little away and see for yourself. Now some people get it also very far. Some people get it here. See if there's a cool breeze like waves coming in your head. Now, it could be warm also if you have not forgiven specially. Little bit behind. It is not on top of your head. Keep away from, still away. Yes, so you can sit. Now, please put the left hand towards me. Put the left hand towards me now like this. Now, please bend your head again. See with the right hand. Now, bend it properly, bend it and see for yourself. Keep away. At least it should be 3-4 inches away so that you can see. 3 inches at least, I think. Some people might get it even further. Maybe 2 inches, some people, I don't know. Depends on. And then have the right hand towards me. Now, if it is hot, then please forgive. Please forgive everyone. Now put the left hand like this again, last time. With the right hand towards me. Now, you have to just put all your hands up there and look at the sky and ask a question 3 times. Any one of these questions. Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Mother, is this the all-pervading power of God's love? Or Mother, is this the Brahma Chaitanya or Parama Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions 3 times, putting up your head. Now please take down your hands, please. All those, you can put your hands like this. You'll feel the cool and very relaxed. Just feel. All those who have felt cool or warm or hot breeze out of their fontanelle or on their fingers or on their hands, please raise both your hands. Please raise both your hands. No? Just put it like that. Why? It should feel. You are seekers. My God, all of you most. May God bless you. I bow to you all. Your saintliness has started. But look after it. Don't leave it halfway. It's like sprouting of the seed. After sprouting it, it must grow into a tree. So respect it. Thank God we have Brian here, and we have other people, and I hope they'll be having a good center here, and they'll be having a follow-on. Look after your growth. Next year I'll be coming again, and I hope to meet you all.